Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, fuck everybody, just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. You always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss, see. I got my mind on the facts, I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. Stroke until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see, matter of fact.
Cause I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind you know I'll always manifest it. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it.
Good morning and welcome to my Why Know Your Matter. My name is Rick, and it's a rainy day today. It's been raining all night and it's going to be raining all day today, so I feel like crap. I really do. My body's hurting, but I'm going to get through it no matter what. So let's just get right into the news. Set it up real quick here so we could catch up on some morning news. And plus, it's wake and bake. Why not? We gotta smoke our medicine. Smells so good. It really does. So let's go ahead and start off with.
Now we want to get right to your morning business report. The largest employer in the U.S. is planning to cut more than 1,000 jobs.
And if you're trying to eat healthier, you might want to reconsider having cereal for breakfast. Channel 3's Jane King is live at the New York Stock Exchange with those stories and more. Good morning, Jane.
Hi, Caitlin and Tracy. Good morning. Yes, Walmart plans to cut about 1,500 jobs in a restructuring aimed at trimming its expenses and speed up decision making. The Wall Street Journal reports that the company told employees it will reshape some of its teams, particularly in global technology, but also e-commerce. So that will lose some workers as well. And Walmart Connect, the advertising business, will also see cuts. Well, breakfast cereals are becoming less healthy, filled with increasing amounts of sugar, fat, and sodium. In a study published in the journal JAMA Network Open, it detailed that cereal's protein and fiber content, so these are nutrients essential for a healthy diet, have been on decline while we're seeing the bad stuff go up. And finally, is it okay to use a coupon on a first date? Well, a majority of Americans, 56%, said using a coupon is perfectly acceptable. And a further 61% said frugality is an attractive trait in a partner. Now, the survey conducted by Talker Research on behalf of Top Cashback also said when paying for a first date, $125 is the max that people are comfortable.
Wait a minute. What? $125 for a date? And for a first date? You gotta be fucking kidding me. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. That's too much. I don't know what date they're going on. Where they gonna go? Like, unless that, I don't know. That sounds a little bit too high. $125 for a first date? Get out of here. You're lucky we don't just go through the drive-through at the McDonald's.
Comfortable spending before they feel like it's too much. The Dow down yesterday by 817 points. In fact, it was the worst day for stocks in a month. The big catalyst for the sell was that a bond auction that saw weak demand. So this shows investors are demanding higher interest rates to hold U.S. debt.
Yeah, you see, they're manipulating the markets. That's an insider job there. That's 800 points. That's an insider job that they're trying to like force the market and force their ways. So what they do is they sell off and then they have this big drop. But in reality, it's because they're demanding more. So that will offset in a week. Let's go to other news. Let's go over in this side over here. Epic Universe opens today. Its grand opening is today. So let's check this out.
For Memorial Day weekend, Universal is opening up its doors to the public today for its new Epic Universe theme park. It's the newest major attraction in the United States in more than 20 years. The opening comes after Disney recently announced a deal to develop a new park and resort in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, why would they spend money in Abu Dhabi, which they can spend the money here? I mean, yeah, Abu Dhabi is great for the tourism over there and so forth, but that is not going to generate money for us here. So Epic Universe is going to kill Disney this summer. This is the beginning of the end of Disney, and Disney is going to have to lower the prices. I saw an episode where they posted a day out at Disney for a family of 5, I think it was, and it was way over $1,000 just for the tickets to get into the park, not including food, not including like a lot of the drinks and a lot of the stuff that kids would want, like souvenirs and the Mickey hats and the balloons and all that good stuff. All that, it's all extra. If you go to Disney, you're looking at a capital hit of about $2,000 easy out of your pocket. So, I mean, I'd rather go to Epic Universe. Now, for more serious news, let's go ahead and check out Fox News and see what I saw this yesterday, but this is more news on Trump eating up the South African president real quick with his bullshit. So let's go ahead and see what's up.
Tonight, we begin with a story that will not and should not go away for, well, history, forever. Democrats, their friends in the state-run legacy media mob, they worked in unison to cover up Joe Biden's obvious cognitive decline. This was a brazen attempt, frankly, a conspiracy, to use a phrase, to deceive all of you, to deceive the American people. They hated Donald Trump so much that they were more than willing to put Americans at risk, handing over the keys to our country crazy. And our nuclear arsenal to someone that they knew was in a steep cognitive decline. Nearly every elected Democrat, every White House official, every Biden family member, every single so-called journalist, they lied over and over and over and over again. This is the single biggest, most widespread political White House scandal in our lifetime. No other way to describe this. And it was also the dumbest lie ever told. They asked all of you not to believe your lion eyes and your lion ears. Meanwhile, we simply reported the obvious truth here on this program. My humble advice to every American watching tonight is forever, you cannot trust fake news CNN, MSDNC. You can't trust the broadcast channels, ABC, CBS, NBC. Stop reading the New York Times. Stop reading the Washington Post. Stop listening to NPR. And frankly, you can get your news right here on this show, on Fox News, Talk Radio, News, maybe podcasters that you like, know, and trust. You might not always agree with my political beliefs, but we're not going to spend 5 years lying to your face. We told you the truth about Russia collusion. They lied. We told you the truth about the valuation of Mar-a-Lago. They lied. We told you the truth about Joe Biden's cognitive decline. They lied. But don't take my word for it. Let's take a look at the timeline, shall we? Let us begin in 2019, the very beginning of Joe Biden's presidential campaign. From the very moment that he threw his hat in the ring, something seemed off. Let's take a trip down memory lane.
Oh boy, here we go.
If you agree with me, go to Joe 30330. We choose truth over facts. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear words.
Record player on at night.
This was not the Vice President Biden that you were all familiar with. It was clear, it was obvious, it was self-evident. Joe didn't talk the same, he didn't walk the same, he didn't look the same. Way back in August of 2019, it was obvious to me that Joe Biden was in a decline. And that's exactly what we reported right here on this show. Take a look. While his allies are trying to downplay it, there is a panic. All Joe being Joe, the verbal mishaps are piling up by the second, raising serious questions among Democrats about his viability. Well, let's just put it this way. I would argue that David Axelrod is right. That's probably the best you're going to get out of sleepy, creepy Uncle Joe. He's losing his fastball. I am in a little better shape. Anyway, unfortunately, anyone who dared to speak the truth was excoriated by the left-wing legacy media mob. Take a look.
When he was on the stage, the decision he made in the moment was an unsubtle allusion to Alzheimer's or ageism.
Yeah.
Now, if he thinks that's winning, good luck. And if he thinks that the notion that, again, people have talked about Joe Biden's weaknesses as a candidate. If you actually think he's weak, then he'll fall on his own sort of time.
Now, a year later, let's follow the timeline. In 2020, the same pattern continued. Now, if you are a loyal viewer to this program for any length of time, you are very, very familiar with this alarming moment from then candidate Joe Biden, created by the thing, God, the creator of everything. Take a look.
It's time for America to get back up on its feet and once again fight for the proposition that we hold these truths to be self-evident. Sounds corny. Not a joke. Think about it. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing. You know how we talk about it. Are we the people?
Corny, not a joke. Think about it. The thing. Once again, we observed the truth. And immediately, we told you, our viewers, a reminder. As a voter, it is fair for every American to ask whether or not this 78-year-old has the strength, the stamina, the focus, and the capacity to handle what is by far the toughest job in the world. Now, to me, quid pro quo Joe seems to be in a rapid state of decline and not up to the rigors needed even on a campaign. Now, over there on Fake News CNN, the reporting was much different. Instead of telling you that the people that watch, the very few people that watch that network, well, they spread blatant lies, propaganda, misinformation. Take a look.
This is Joe Biden out there on a vigorous bike ride. Not wearing a helmet, but definitely wearing a mask, by the way. Fox's narrative and talk radio's narrative for months has been that Joe Biden is falling apart. You just heard Ben Shapiro say it, falling apart. And there he is riding a bike, out for a bike ride.
Humpty Dumpty, you want to take that back? Don't forget, Humpty Dumpty tells everyone he's a reporter, which is another lie. None of these people are, quote, journalists, as they claim. They are leftist activists, talk show hosts that are merely part of the Democratic machine. Frankly, nothing more than an extension of their press offices. They're not honest about who they are. And that brings us to 2021 in our timeline. Biden got a year older and his mental condition got even worse. We observed obvious mental fog, too many gaffes to count. And to top it all off, Joe barely ever did unscripted pressers. Let me go to Sam, who's going to ask me about the budget. I mean, that's how it went down. And he spent most of his weekends in Delaware, could barely even drag his beach chair around. But according to MSDNC, competence was at the helm. Take a look.
We cannot downplay the comfort that some of us feel in the country, that government is actually working, or at least trying to work, that competence is actually at the helm.
More lies from the state-run legacy media mob. Let's go to 2022. Joe Biden's decline, it continued. Take a look at your screen. Dazed and confused, Joe Biden mumbling, bumbling, stumbling. He can barely, look at this case, get his jacket on without help from Dr. Jill. But again, anyone who reported the truth, we were viciously attacked. We were accused of ageism. Take a look.
What about the respect for elders thing that we talk about? Because we treat, I think, our elderly people we don't support them and honor them as much as other countries. Is there, and it's a little bit difficult sometimes to talk about these issues and to speak of a president that way.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up. I think one of the biggest challenges we face is ageism, right?
Stupid.
Big news, CNN running cover once again. A year later, 2023, Biden was
if you're
on
old, you're
MSDNC,
old.
and for some reason, he
What
just
the
got
fuck?
up and wandered off the set.
Yo, if you're
while the
old
show
and
was
you're
live
senile like
on air.
Biden, you're old.
I'm leaving now. Just walked off the set. The legacy media mob still lied to your face. In fact, CNN continued to blame Biden's lifelong stutter. Nobody ever talked about his stutter for his unusual
Nobody
behavior.
ever talked
Take a
about
look.
his stutter.
President Biden does have word finding difficulties. He does. I mean,
No, he doesn't.
anytime you hear him in a speech, he does stumble. And I don't know if that's his stutter or if that's the prompter. But he does. And as you know, his critics seize on that.
That's why CNN is garbage.
And this brings us to 2024, Biden's last year as your so-called president. Was he really? Anyways, most of you know Joe Biden was an utter train wreck. He barely worked, took
This
a
guy
lot of naps,
sleeping.
including during public meetings. Let's call a lid at 8 o'clock in the morning, meaning you won't see the
Look,
president for the
look.
rest of the day. He wandered off, remember, during the G7 meeting in France, while other world leaders anxiously looked on. Come on, Joe, let me steer you back to where you belong. He also seemed completely lost during a Juneteenth concert, looking off into the distance with the 1,000-yard stare of his.
What the
At
hell
one
is
point in
this?
2024, he even walked.
Like, wait a minute. Let's go back a little bit before Joe wanders into the jungle. What is this? What is this? What is this? This creepazoid. And she's all happy and clappy. All these other people are actors. These are like stage actors. So they're all acting. They're all part of their little cult that they have. Biden's just fucking confused as it is. He's like standing there and he's just like doesn't know where he's doing, where he's at, what's happening. He is like he should be in bed sleeping because he looks like he's very tired there. So I don't understand this going. All this is like, what was the purpose of, especially this over here? Like, come on, you're not Diana Ross, and trust me, Diana Ross does not have a beard. No, this is. Lord, help me, help us, help the world. Like, I know, there's upper powers and so forth, but they got to be watching what's going on here, and really, they're doing a horrible job if they're in the controls, and they're controlling what's going on and controlling the narrative. Because what we had with Biden was the worst that has ever happened. Like, and we lived through it, and then we have people defending this old man. We have people like would go to war for this old geezer that should have retired. Like when he got out of freaking office with Obama, he should have just retired. And the fact that they just prop him up there like a big Weekend as Bernie's puppet, it's very disturbing. So let's go back to the Village People / I don't know what was that thing, and Kamala like doing her little I don't know what the fuck she was doing and clapping.
Lost during a Juneteenth concert, looking off into the distance with the 1,000-yard stare of his. At one point in 2024, he even walked straight into a jungle during a trip to Latin America. I'm going to go for a walk. We showed you all of this very real footage. Remember, he would shake air and he didn't know whether to go exit left or exit right. He had no idea. Somebody would have to, oh, come on, Joe, we'll walk you off the stage. We would show you this footage day in, day out, night in, night out, while the other media outlets accused us of producing what they called cheap fake videos. Take a look.
We're hearing about so-called cheap fakes. It's playing out on right-wing media, Fox, New York Post, and so on. And all of this is to try to make the case that Biden is slipping, he's confused, and so on.
There are a lot of videos going around about President Biden on social media. Which ones are real? Which ones are deceptively edited, now being called cheap fakes? A lot of...
Wait a minute. The Democrats, you see, the Biden administration came up with this term. Like, they couldn't use deep fakes because that's already been used. So they wanted to control the narrative. So what they did was someone who thought of this. I don't know who the fuck came up with this, but they're like, oh, we could use cheap fakes. It sounds kind of clever, huh? It's cheap and it's fake. Can we just go with that and we'll just call it cheap fake? And we'll adapt that and we'll control the narrative using cheap fake. Like, did they really come up with this shit? Because that like I said, I'm here as a witness to what's going on in the world. I am taking this to my death, and wherever I go next, I will let them know what the hell's going on. And if someone's asleep behind the controls, I will slap them. Because they let this happen to us for 4 years. Like, makes you really think, who is really in control? Who is really running the narrative? That's the real question. Train is always on time.
Memes and what the White House is calling cheap fakes.
Cheap fakes are a little bit simpler. They're cheap. They're just distorted, out of context videos, chopped up in certain ways, constructed in certain ways. That's what we're seeing. That's what the Biden administration, the Biden campaign is so worried about right now.
That's June of 24. They had 4 long years to figure out what we figured out in 2019. And it gets worse. March of 2024, Liberal Joe, our old friend, proclaiming Joe Biden was his best self intellectually, analytically. What planet is he living on? Take a look.
Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth.
This guy's
F
a
you
idiot.
if you can't handle the truth.
If you can handle the truth.
This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever. Not a close second. I've known him for years. The Brzezinskis have known him for 50 years.
If this is the best Biden ever, where the hell were you at when he was in the Senate? When he was yapping it up throughout his whole career? Saying, you're going to say from his whole career in politics until this moment on March 6, 2024, on MSNBC, claiming that this is the best Biden ever. If that's the best, if that's the best Biden ever, he was the worst of the best. Like, any other person's worst day is probably Biden's best day. It's incredible how the world just continues to see this bullshit. Like, and the fact that they're in the media. So that means they're sending out this programming out to individuals, and they're getting wired into this stuff, and that's how they become radical and become unhinged because of these individuals. So they're kind of like giving the green light for individuals to act the ruckus and to control the narrative. You know, I knew from way back then that Biden was a piece of shit. I said it way back then, and I say it now. It has not changed. I've been away a year, and I still feel the same way about Biden. You know, he's just Let's go, Brandon. This is, man, why, like, I wonder, like, why the universe wanted us to go through this experience. Like, there's a purpose. Everything happens for a reason. Things just don't, happen for like other, everything's for a reason. But the fact that, man, I felt like having Joe Biden as president was a punishment. It was a punishment to us. And the fact that we didn't appreciate Trump in his first 4 years, and the fact that it was sabotaged. They tried to sabotage Trump's presidency like multiple times until they finally got him with the C word. And when they got him with the C word, and it kind of like all the focus went to that, and he wasn't really able to do majority of what he really wanted to do. It was kind of like a sabotage, and then you had the 2020 elections, and then we went through 4 years of hell. Like, I feel like I was in opposite land for a long period of time. Like, I'm glad we survived. I'm really glad that we didn't end up in a nuclear war. I'm really glad that, like, the world understood that there was something going a little wrong here in the United States. There's a lot of wrong that's going on. And the fact that, like, the people here, like, I don't understand the Democrat mind. I don't. I mean, I have a Democratic father. My father's a Democrat. And I, to this day, do not get him. I don't get him. I don't understand. I don't, like, he's very stubborn, that's for sure. And it's always one-sided in that conversation. But to me, I'm like, man, what a waste. My mother's Republican. And I have my issues with her too. I have my issues with both of my parents. That's just issues that I don't think it'll ever get resolved. But, man, this Joe Biden and the media, the entanglement with the media and, with government, there it seems like they were too close together, and it became a weapon, and I know what really happened, and a lot of my videos on YouTube got taken down by YouTube because they couldn't handle the truth. And, I said a lot of things and they couldn't handle it, and they took my videos down for no reason. Now, I know I would have a case if I did a class action lawsuit against YouTube and have all the YouTubers join in, and we all end up suing the shit out of, I don't even care if I get like pennies, YouTube needs to be put in its place. You can't violate people's freedom of speech, and not only that, respect people's laws in their countries. Now, if Europe and all these other people have like censored speech, and that's on them, but you can't come over here and censor us in America. It just doesn't work that way. And I hope Trump addresses that, because I am going to the White House. I'm gonna go visit. I'm gonna take the tour, and I'm gonna go visit the White House and stuff like that. And if I see any like Republican congressman or congresswoman around, if I run into them, I would say something. I would say, listen, can we do something about YouTube and about the censorship on YouTube and how they're very politically on one side and they're not really fair, and their algorithm is very it's not biased, you know. It's like they know what you say, and then if you're talking about something that they don't like, then they put you down the totem pole and you don't see the day of light because the algorithms don't even give you a chance. You know, they don't want people to listen. They want people to, you know, continue watching stupid videos and like brain dead videos that isn't going to progress your life or anything. You're just stuck in this vortex of stupidity. And that's what they want, like society. That's the advantage of AI, is to dominate the media and like dominate the narrative and control the narrative to the point that that's how they're going to be able to control humanity. Humanity is going to be controlled by AI through what they're doing every single day, being on the internet. The internet is the trap of all traps, is the web. For a reason, they call it the World Wide Web. Okay? They got you all trapped. You're all stuck in the web. We're all stuck in the web. I'm in the web. You know? And we're going to keep, you know, on with this stupid narrative. But let's go ahead and continue on with this stupid MSNBC. Man. I hope they all get in trouble. I hope the FCC comes after all these channels. All the ones that are so against Trump and so like they're not fair and balanced, then they all should get into like deep shit trouble. You know, because they're supposed to be neutral, and they're not neutral. They're all one-sided, and let me tell you this. That PSYOP, that dossier, it's not working. Try something else, but that's not working. And the fact that he got caught, it's like we just was watching the decline of media right before our eyes. How, like, us, the people, the American people, and not only us, the American people, though people from the world is watching and seeing everything that's going on. And they could tell for themselves, like, MSNBC it's not going to be much longer. They're going to get sued really horribly, and they're going to get fined terribly. It's sad that it has come to this. I don't think our forefathers ever thought of this ever happening. You know, they never thought, you know, back in those days that media was going to be the one that's going to infiltrate and try to control the narrative. That's wild. But let's continue with the bullshit here.
If it weren't the truth, I wouldn't say it.
Hey, Joe, I could use your words. F you for lying to the American people. Even after Biden's disastrous debate performance in 2024, there was still some on fake news CNN making excuses for Joe until he was officially out of the presidential race. Take a look.
In several events since the CNN debate, President Biden has appeared vigorous. He has had a really busy, jam-packed schedule where you haven't seen what we all saw on the debate stage.
He never had a jam-packed schedule. My big question is tonight, if Democrats, their friends in the state-run legacy media mob are willing to lie so blatantly about all of this, what won't they lie about? As it turns out, their rampant dishonesty extends to almost everything. I don't have time to list every lie. They have done nothing but lie and lie again and again and peddle one conspiracy theory about Donald Trump after another. And they even got Pulitzer Prizes for lying, and they won't give them back. It's repulsive. It is corrupt. It is the biggest presidential scandal in history. Well, right up there. Here's one quick example. This is fake Jake Tapper defending Hunter Biden in 2019, 20, and 23. Now he's criticizing him. Take a look.
Whatever you think of Hunter Biden, and there's certainly a lot of people in this town, Democrats and Republicans, that do not think a lot of him, there is a certain kind of like cruelty to the campaign against him. Where is Hunter? Where is Hunter? Where is Hunter? The right wing is going crazy with all sorts of allegations about Biden and his family, too disgusting to even repeat here. I mean, some of the ones I've seen from the president's son and some of the president's supporters are just wildly unhinged.
I think that you came here and leveled a bunch of accusations and allegations about Hunter Biden.
I didn't level. I just said the facts.
Now, that was before Biden's exit from public life. Now here's fake Jake admitting the truth. He's trying to make money selling a book. Take a look.
I think Hunter was driving the decision making for the family in a way that he was almost like a chief of staff of the family.
Does that strike you as pretty bizarre?
It's bizarre because I think he is provably, demonstrably unethical, sleazy, and prone to horrible decisions. I mean,
tell me how you really feel.
Well, I mean, I'm just look at the record. I mean, after his brother died, he cheated on his wife with his brother's widow and then got her addicted to crack. That's just one thing I could say. I mean, I don't have a lot of personal regard for him.
And I have no personal regard for you either, fake Jake. You're trying to make money, criticizing the very lying that you were a huge part of. Why would anyone buy that book or trust anyone at Fake News CNN ever again? They pretend to be honest, purveyors of truth, and that is a lie. But of course, it's not just the media. As Peter Doocy can report firsthand,
this is the best Biden right here ever.
White House
Look at
that time was a
Look
house of
turn.
cards built on lies.
Roomba Biden.
He's the only one I recall calling it out.
Hold on, this is the Roomba Biden. This is the one that he's pointing this way, that way, and he's like all over the place. He's like here, there, everywhere. He's like, oh shit, which way I go? Oh, look at it. He even has the finger out and everything. He's like, where do I go? Finger of knowledge, please direct me to where should I go? Should I go this way? Should I go that way? Where the fuck am I? Holy shit. Look, Biden.
Regularly. Take a look.
President Biden is the oldest president in U.S. history. Why does White House staff treat him like a baby?
No one treats the President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief, like a baby.
So there's this book that says
That's ridiculous.
When staff
That's a ridiculous
back,
claim.
How is President Biden ever going to convince the 3/4 of voters who are worried about his physical and mental health that he is okay, even though in Las Vegas he told a story about recently talking to a French president who died in 1996?
I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole with you, sir.
What if one of the reasons you were not charged is because, in his description, you are a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory?
I'm well-meaning, and I'm an elderly man, and I know what the hell I'm doing. I've been president. I put this country back on its feet. I don't need his recommendation. It's
How
totally
bad is your memory, and can you continue as president?
My memory is so bad, I let you speak.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey,
That
click here
is
to subscribe.
Crazy. Oh man, let's just hold on. This is what's going on in the world with Biden. We lived through a moment in time that it will be forever etched in history. We lived it. If you acknowledged it, that's awesome, because I did. But the ones that didn't acknowledge it, it's like, what? Like, you're not paying attention? Like, I know a lot of people are hypnotized. That's the thing. There's a lot of people that are really hypnotized, and they're stuck in this vortex, and I feel like they need to be woken up somehow. Like, it needs something big to happen to wake them up. And it may be coming. It's something I've been feeling something coming. And it's going to be an awakening for humanity. Like, it's for mankind, for all, like, here. That's the only way we're gonna all, like, come together, and it's gonna be at its darkest hour. Mark my words.
As Peter Doocy can report firsthand, then Biden White House at that time was a house of cards built on lies and smears. He's the only one I recall calling it out regularly. Take a look.
President Biden is the oldest president in U.S. history. Why does White House staff treat him like a baby?
No one treats the president of the United States, the commander-in-chief, like a baby.
So there's this book that says
That's ridiculous.
When staff
It's a
lost
ridiculous
back,
claim.
how is President Biden ever going to convince the 3/4 of voters who are worried about his physical and mental health that he is okay, even though in Las Vegas he told a story about recently talking to a French president who died in 1996?
I'm not even going to go down that
That's
rabbit hole,
crazy.
sir.
One of the reasons you were not charged is because
This is the replay from the
you
last
are a
one.
well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory.
I'm well-meaning, and I'm an elderly man, and I know what the hell I'm doing. I've been president. I put this country back on its feet. I don't need his recommendation. It's
How
totally
bad is your memory, and can you continue as president?
my memory is so bad. I let you speak.
Here with more, our very own Peter Doocy. Peter, I just want you were one of the few to be willing to call him out. Why weren't your colleagues willing to call him out?
I tried, Sean, and I don't know. It would seem like there was a fear in the room that asking a hard question about the president's acuity, about his mental fitness, could mean a loss of access. But based on everything that we have learned now, nobody had access. It was the president and a handful of aides that were with him for 50 years up in the residence with the first lady and the first son, and that was it. And my experience with the first couple years of President Biden was that he really liked to mix it up. He wanted the hard questions, but he was then bubble wrapped and he was completely isolated, which obviously did not serve him very well. What I would say about those clips, though, is it's with journalism and reporting, it's always better to be right than first. But as it turns out, by covering this, and you and I talked about it on the show all the time for years, we were right and first. And it just took everybody else a couple of years to get there.
Shit, I was right from the beginning. Go back and watch my show. You go back and watch my shows, you'll see. I was truly right before these people started being right. It didn't take me long to know this guy was a creep. Like, this goes way back. This is like, come on, man. Like Biden would say, right? Come on, man. Like, go back and watch my shows. It's a good watch. I mean, every day is something different, right? So it's like you forget like what happened in the past, so you can always go back and rewatch. And I encourage people to go back and rewatch my shows. And hold on, before we continue, Doocy there, go back and watch the shows. I have a lot of shows, big catalog. Holy shit. I have over 600 videos possibly. I think. I don't know. I have to check. Let me check real quick. I don't even know how many. I know it's probably around 600. Give me one sec. Let's see. I'm trying to see where I can. Okay, yeah. 633. And you can always go back and watch them. It's a lot of videos, man. I've done a lot. And every video is different. It's all different. Every day is different. It's always something. It was always every day was different. That's what was cool. And you could always go back and watch, and it was pretty entertaining. We had a good time. It was good times. It got crazy, and then people just went a little wild, and yeah, I had to put people in their place. But that's all about, that's how it went down. It's all documented. I don't need to sit here and celebrate or anything like that. It's just it happened, and you put people in their place, and you know the truth. And I know the truth, and I know and I see things before they do. And I'm in a better state of mind and better place than a lot of people that had came through here. And I feel good, And if it's my last run, it's my last run, but I'm going out happy. I'm never going to go down with boo-hoo or anything like that. Nope. Everything happens for a reason. Everything. If people want to listen to me, they'll listen to me. If they don't, they suffer their own consequences. It's not my problem. It's your problem. That's why it's my mind over your matter. It's in the title. It's in the name. I came up with the name. Read it to yourself. But let's get back into with Mr. Peter Doocy. He's a funny dude. I like him, but I knew Biden was declined way a long time. Like, I could astral project to all the things that he has done and stuff, and it's very incredible that he has not been arrested for treason yet. But they're playing the easy way with him because they know he's frail. He's dying. Look, he has cancer. No, you can't investigate him. No. Don't investigate, because if you investigate him, you're gonna investigate me. Yes, Jill. We know what you're playing, the cards you're playing, girl. I got the cards right here. I already know what you're up to, bitch. I already know. You think you slick, putting the country to feel pity and try to feel sympathy for you and for your husband because, he has stage 4 cancer and he's at a whatever level 9 and a 5 and a whatever the hell, he's at the worst level, and you have to feel pity. Please don't investigate my husband because he's going to implement me too. These people forget I'm a psychic. I love the news. I watch it. I fill myself with a lot of information, and I take in a lot of information, and I like to listen. And the fact that everything happens for a reason. I know for a fact the Bidens are very corrupted. Very corrupted. The Democratic Party has been infiltrated. As you can see, a lot of the Democrats seem to be like on the stupid side of things. Like you can see like AOC jumping around the stage and doing this dance to, I don't know, Megan Thee Stallion, whatever. I don't listen to these people, so I wouldn't even know who the hell they are. Okay. And then you have this AOC jumping around like she's from fucking Fraggle Rock. Like the chick thinks she's from Fraggle Rock. Like she's like bouncing around like she's red and shit. She's like, this is AOC right here. She's like all over the place. And they really think that she's a front runner to run for presidency? Are you kidding me? The Democrats, are you kidding me? Like, what's really going on? Like, the Democrats has been infiltrated. They have been infiltrated and been poisoned. I don't know what like spell that they're under, but they're really under something really deep. And they all are they could be a very menace to society. So, you know, just be careful being around these individuals, like in large settings, and don't try to be around them because it's not good energy. It's just not good energy. The Democrat Party has really terrible energy. Terrible. And how are they gonna get over it? I don't know. It's gonna take a miracle for them to come out of that because they're in a deep spell. And I know it has to do a lot with Soros and his son and all the BlackRock and the Illuminati stuff and the Bilderbergs, all those names that right now I'm checking off all the check marks of YouTube to be censored. So I'm checking all of them off. And I don't have no audience. There's nobody watching. This is like me recording. I'm recording, but it's live on YouTube, but it's a recording because I would have been doing this if it wasn't live anyways. So, yeah, there you go. The ones who watch and listen, congratulations. Thank you. If you made it this far into the video, thank you for watching and rewatching. I truly appreciate you very much. You just don't know. A lot of good things will happen for you. I guarantee it. You will have good fortune. You will have good, for your life. I see good things if you made it this far. And you listen to this, trust me, I know. On with the story, and let's continue with the Peter Doocy. Let's see what he says. Give me 1 second to fix this up right here. And we can go back to Peter Doocy.
To join us there. But I was with Joe Biden on his first day of his campaign. I was there on the last day of the campaign. And I have heard some stories about how the way that some people in town remember it, nobody was putting questions directly to the Biden White House about any of this. And that's not what I remember.
Yeah, that's a good point. How bad did you think it was at the time?
It depended on the day, but the hardest questions are usually the simplest ones. And something that I do before I go into these White House briefings, I kind of try to take a poll everywhere I go, at the grocery store, at the airport. And the one thing everybody that I met wanted to know while I was on the Biden beat was, is he okay? I saw this clip. They're saying it's a cheap fake. What is going on with this guy? And you bring it in, you bring it to the press briefing room, which was usually the only opportunity to get anything on or off the record from this very, very walled off White House. And you would just ask, like, hey, why is he saying that he just talked to a dead guy? Or who is going to answer the phone after 8 p.m. When he apparently is no longer as sharp as he is in the middle of the day? And you heard one of the answers from Karine Jean-Pierre there. She said it was a rabbit hole to suggest that the things that we could see with our eyes and hear with our ears were actually a problem. It's unclear now if that was based on her experience or if that is what she was being told to say. But it's you can see for yourself how bad it was. I'll say that.
Peter, all credit to you. You were the only one really that went after it hard and told the truth. And you know what? Nothing but respect for doing your job. Thank you. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News
really
YouTube
good.
page and catch our hottest interviews and most
Peter Doocy is very good. He's a very good reporter. Let me see. I got a couple more videos I want to watch, so that way we'll get through this real quick. And then I'm going to get off of here because I'm already starting to hurt. My body hurts. I took my medicine, but still my body's aching. It's raining. It's chilly. I like the chilliness. I like the rain, but it's making my body hurt. And it's a little uncomfortable sitting here. So I may have to get off here for a bit. But let's go ahead and continue watching over here.
Here to weigh in, Chris Bedford, the Beltway Brief author, and Dan Turrentine, co-host of The Morning Meeting. Chris, if I don't see those two on television again anytime soon, it'll be, I mean, come on. So first of all, we know what they're doing. I know it's like this, well, like coming clean. We all knew this. You were on this show for the last 5 years talking about this scam. So we hear a few anonymously sourced tidbits to sell a book, and we're all supposed to go, ooh, the journalists are being journalists today. But the truth is, someone was running this country. Someone or a group of people wasn't the person elected by the voters.
No, it wasn't. And you had people in the Oval Office. You had Anita Dunn there. You had Bob Bauer. You had Ron Klain around the president. They're cited as being some of the top decision makers in the White House. And what do they all have in common is that they were key members of Barack Obama's White House. Barack Obama is that rare president who didn't leave Washington, D.C. He bought his mansion nearby. He was taking meetings. And remember, Joe Biden was selected despite obvious issues that everyone worked so hard to pretend didn't actually exist once he became president. He was elected because he was the one who was least crazy on the border issue on the Democratic stage, the only one who made it to Iowa who was willing to say, we're not going to decriminalize the border. But when he got there, he wasn't actually in charge. These people ran the decision-making process. They seem to have run his administration. And now all these things that are reported in the book, we knew them because we saw them. They were publicly available information from his press conferences, from the way he walked. Everyone could tell with eyes to see. They're admitting it now, but it does show you straight down to it just how little in touch he was with actual power making decisions.
Yeah, we don't need Biden falling up the stairs. We've seen that how many times. We need the names and the faces of the individuals who were part of this cabal. We know that Biden was in decline. We've reported on this literally since 2019 on the Ingram angle. We didn't have to write a book about it. We knew about it, okay? So, Dan, we're now hearing more about the after-the-fact reporting, though, about Dr. Jill's operation. Get the joke? Now, she was practicing the presidency without a license, or I should say, without an election. So what about her role in all of this?
Yeah, look, it's a great question. I mean, Jill has always hovered in the background along with Hunter as the kind of protectors of Joe Biden. And, you know, there was always alleged that she loved being first lady, that she loved the trappings of the office. And I think, you know, Democrats, in retrospect, definitely wish that Jill and Hunter had gone to Joe Biden and said, hey, you should not stand for re-election. Frankly, I think it's pretty apparent he probably should have resigned after 2023 as he was going downhill and protect him the way, you know, Nancy Reagan protected Ronald Reagan. But, Instead, what you had was this three-legged stool that protected them, the White House, the media, and Democrats in Congress. And that stool is now completely collapsed. I mean, you talked about it. The media is embarrassed. They're humiliated. Even on Joe Scarborough this morning saying, that he was incredulous at the idea that, that this is just coming out, the cancer diagnosis. And Democrats are angry. They don't want to defend the guy anymore. And so Biden is out there on an island with nobody speaking up on his behalf.
Well, again, I'm going to make this point until people, get what I'm saying. I think it's pretty obvious, but we know all the names of the people. Steve Ricchetti, Ron Klain. You mentioned three of them earlier. Ron Klain, Steve Ricchetti, Jeffrey Zients, Karine Jean-Pierre, the first press secretary, who's Jen Psaki, Kirby, Jake Sullivan. Who else? Who else is on this list? These people all knew what was going on. And they were, at the same time, they were all pretending that Trump was a threat to democracy. January 6th, Charlottesville. How many times did they repeat that refrain? And they were doing this? So I'm not cheering the journalists who were writing their columns in the Post and writing books about Biden's decline. The story is the people who were running that auto pen. Trump is exactly right about this.
He is, because they were making decisions that clearly the president was incapable of making. He couldn't string together a sentence or remember key details of his life. We have it on recording. It's basically the reverse of the Richard Nixon tapes.
Right.
We show how little control he actually had over this White House and how little operational knowledge he had of what was going on. But this goes back to a problem the Democrats and the press have had since 2016, which is they cannot figure out that the American people like Donald Trump or why they do. And so they pretend that it's not real, whether it's Vladimir Putin's fault or Ukraine's fault, or whether now they're blaming Joe Biden for it, this is not actually Donald Trump's win. He didn't win a mandate from the American people. Joe Biden lost, as if Kamala Harris was an unknown person. And it stops them from ever having to really look inward at themselves or ever tackle the really toxic ideas they spread.
Yeah. And the cover up we're going to get to later in the show of the policies that were ruinous for the country, including the adverse effects of the COVID shot. We're going to get to that because it's not just the cover up of the cognitive decline that we all knew about. The real story, even worse, is the effect on the American people and all of our foreign adversaries and allies, Dan. After we told, Trump really hurt our reputation around the world with January 6th. What do you think they thought about this guy at every G7 meeting, Dan?
Yeah, one of the stories that really hasn't been reported very much, I mean, it's been a little bit, is that one of the deals that Joe Biden made in 2020, once he got the nomination, was to outsource personnel to Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders. He was terrified that Bernie would do to him what he had done to Hillary Clinton and just nag at her ankles. And so you basically had a White House populated with these young, super progressive, woke staffers who had an agenda they wanted to drive. And because Joe Biden was not as sharp as he had been, they essentially ran the White House. You talked about the senior staff, but down in those agencies, it was not really the Joe Biden that people thought they were getting. And as a result, the Democratic Party's paid a huge price for it.
I don't know if I buy that, Chris, that what Trump is saying, that Biden wouldn't have opened the border. The whole party's moved to the left. I don't have any indication that Biden would have opened the border. I guess I kind of see why Trump's saying that. I think Biden, if he were in his right mind, would have opened the border because the party's all liberal, far left.
He's one of the only Democrats who is still able to talk a moderate game, but he's always had progressive policies from the beginning.
Yeah, so I think it's all their fault. But the cover up in that cabal, they have to be held accountable. Chris and Dan, thank you both very much.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.
Okay, let's see. I wanted to see this one here, so let's share this one. This happened, I guess, last night while we were sleeping, I guess. Let's see.
Overnight, shots outside the Capitol Jewish Museum near the FBI's Washington, D.C. field office, killing a young couple with plans to marry. Yaron Lashinsky and his girlfriend, Sarah Milgram. The Israeli ambassador near tears while talking about them.
The couple that was gunned down tonight in the name of Free Palestine. It's a young couple about to be engaged. The young man purchased a ring this week with the intention of proposing to his girlfriend next week in Jerusalem.
Casualty versus 1 and 2. Response 1 active shooter.
The young couple gunned down at close range after leaving a celebration of young Jewish diplomats.
The suspect was observed pacing back and forth outside of the museum. He approached a group of 4 people, produced a handgun, and opened fire, striking both of our decedents. After the shooting, the suspect then entered the museum.
Overnight, we spoke with Katie and Yoni, who were inside the museum at the time of the shooting.
So the suspect came over to where I was, and we offered him water, and he reaches into his backpack and pulls out a keffiyeh and says, "I did it. I did this for Gaza."
He wanted the cops to come in, and then he wanted to say, "I did it."
And a critical piece of evidence that could point to motive, something the suspect said, suggesting an apparent obsession with the Israeli-Hamas conflict.
The suspect chanted, "Free, free Palestine," while in custody.
Here's the man police believe to be the suspect, hands behind his back, surrounded by police and security.
Free, free Palestine! The suspect has been tentatively identified as 30-year-old Elias Rodriguez of Chicago, Illinois.
A massive investigation now underway with the
Chicago.
FBI trying to determine motive and whether there are any ties to terrorist organizations. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office saying he's shocked by the horrific anti-Semitic murder. Attorney General Pam Bondi, FBI Director Kash Patel, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, and President Trump all responding overnight, understanding the international implications. This is a painful reminder we are still in an extremely dangerous threat environment. Robin?
It truly is, Pierre. Our thanks to you.
That's wild. That's wild. That happened last night. My mind goes to like something song. It smells fishy a little bit. Because anything with Israel, stuff like that, it's just like, it's too early in the investigation to be determining anything. So, and that happened last night while I was sleeping. That was the first time I heard it. So, can't come to conclusions without having some kind of facts first. I mean, but that's kind of weird. The guy goes there and it's like, "Free Palestine," whatever the song is they singing. I'm like, there's something like bigger going on. And I'm telling you, a lot of people are hypnotized. I keep telling you guys that hypnotism, that people get hypnotized. Yeah, the media can do that to you guys. Let's come back to me. Yeah, you can be hypnotized, and you guys could be stuck in a pattern, and you can't break free. And I don't know. I broke out of it, but that's because I had like severe concussion and broke my neck and went through hell with hospitals. Stayed a whole year in a hospital. I talk about all that stuff in the past, like in the beginning of my shows. So you gotta go back and watch, so that way I could pick up on my views, watching views by you guys, going back and watching older content, my content. It's all different. Like I said, it's pretty cool. It's cool going back to the past and seeing the people that were here before. And yeah, but I was gone for a year, so I'm not in good terms with the algorithm yet. The algorithm's like, "Bitch, you were gone for a year. I'm not gonna give you no attention." I'm like, no, whatever. But let me see. There's 2 more things I want to see. One about the House passes President Trump big beautiful bill, and I want to see what China says about Trump and asking Trump, well, actually urging Trump to abandon Golden Dome missile defense plan. So why China is so scared and telling Trump to abandon the Golden Dome? He's not gonna listen to China. The Chinese think they have control. The Chinese don't know Trump. They should know Trump. Trump don't play that. Homie don't play that. Slap him in the head. Psh. Homie don't play that. Trump don't play that. Let's see this passing of the big, beautiful bill.
Up all night, as well as Republicans are charging ahead of their multi-trillion-dollar tax breaks package, with Speaker Mike Johnson defying the skeptics within his ranks and working to muscle President Donald Trump's priority bill to passage on this Thursday. You did hear those remarks right here on Live Now from Fox, as Johnson and his GOP leadership team appeared confident after a lengthy White House meeting with GOP holdouts to salvage the big, beautiful bill, even as more Republicans announced their opposition. Shortly before midnight, they launched debate to set the stage for this early morning vote. You can see the time is now out on the vote, but they are still getting final tallies underway. A quick quote from House Speaker Mike Johnson. We did play that out for you. He said, quote, "You never know till the final vote tally, but I'm convinced we're going to pass this bill tonight." This as the chamber action resumed. Throughout the evening and into these early morning hours, the upbeat tone stood at odds with the unwielding scene at the Capitol.
On this
we see
vote,
Speaker
the
Johnson there now. Let's listen in.
The nays are 214, with one answering present. The bill is passed.
USA, USA.
Without objection, a motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
Pursuant to Clause 8 of Rule 20, the unfinished business is the question on suspending the rules and passing H.R. 1701, which the clerk will report by title.
H.R. 1701, a bill to require the Secretary of Defense of the Secretary of State to monitor efforts by the People's Republic of China to build or buy strategic foreign ports and for other purposes.
Will the House suspend the rules and pass the bill? So many as are in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, 2/3 being in the affirmative, the rules are suspended. The bill is passed. And without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
Wow. Trump is getting everything, man. He's just getting everything. Everything. Just take it all, my man. Take it all. So let's head over here to the Golden Dome for America. And China's urging Trump to abandon Golden Dome missile defense plan. I wonder why they're afraid. Let's see what they are talking about here.
For America's Golden Dome missile defense system.
I promised the American people that I would build a cutting-edge missile defense shield to protect our homeland from the threat of foreign missile attack. This design for the Golden Dome will integrate with our existing defense capabilities and should be fully operational before the end of my term.
Ultimately, this right here, the Golden Dome for America, is a game changer. It's a generational investment in the security of America and Americans.
Leading aerospace and defense company Lockheed Martin could be a major contributor to this project. Their chief operating officer, Frank St. John, joins me now. Frank, good morning to you. So what are the capabilities that Lockheed has that can help with this?
Good morning, Carly. As the nation's leading provider of missile defense systems, Lockheed Martin brings fielded proven capabilities in space, airborne, and surface sensing, as well as interceptors to defeat threats and command and control capabilities to integrate all of that together.
And this Golden Dome could ultimately block nuclear missiles shot from on the ground and in space as well?
Yes, and there are, significant analysis of the existing and growing threat that have created the demand for this system to be fielded now. And so we are bringing those combat-proven capabilities, as well as working with all of industry and all of the technology companies to knit together this capability that will defend against those threats that you mentioned, as well as cruise missiles and intermediate ballistic missiles and other threats as well.
Well, it's fascinating, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that the robotic arms that are operating behind you and people walking past. So clearly, all systems go at Lockheed Martin this morning, and I imagine that this Golden Dome and building it and creating it would be a job creator as well.
It is, and yeah, the work of deterrence is a 24/7 operation, and you see that in process here. And yes, there's going to be jobs in California, Colorado, Alabama, Arkansas, New Jersey, New York, all over the country. This is going to be a system that's built domestically here in the United States. And we're really proud to take a leading role in bringing President Trump's vision to reality.
Okay, so not for nothing, but those robots are slow as fuck. If you're going to come with high tech, come high tech. These robots are like, I don't know. It kind of reminds me of the robot arm from Jurassic Park. Remember Jurassic Park where it's grabbing the egg and it's doing like this? That's what it reminds me of, these robots. I mean, I think we're in a state that we can get more advanced. And Lockheed Martin needs to do more upgrades. And they're going to get the money and the resource to be able to, because this Golden Dome is gonna put like trillions of dollars into these programs and for the defense system. That's wow. That's a big move. That's why China's trying to play there, because Trump is fucking dominating the fucking chessboard, man. Trump is like this fucking, like, he's like the king, man. He's all over the place. He's like boom, boom, boom. And China's like, oh shit, I gotta make a move on this dude, but he's gonna checkmate me, and China don't want to be embarrassed. Trump can and will embarrass the shit out of China. It's like, just be at peace, man. Just try to make peace with Trump. It's easier being at peace with Trump than it is to be at odds with Trump. Like, look at everybody that are at odds of Trump. They look like Tales from the Crypt right now. Like, all of them look horrible. Ellen DeGeneres looks horrible. Like, fucking, like, who else? What was the other one? Rosie O'Donnell. She looks horrible. Like, they all turn into like Kathy Griffin. Like, no, this don't, no, Kathy Griffin. No, what's the other one? What's her name? That comedian one. I forgot her name. Just leave a comment in the chat if you ever get this far into my video. Who's that crazy comedian that had like the severed head of Trump during a photo shoot? I forgot her name. It's the redheaded girl. I don't know her name. I forgot her name. But it's probably a good thing that I don't remember her. Yeah. But I feel like the resources, the money's coming in because they're gonna be making deals with the Middle East, like with Saudi Arabia, and this important trip that Trump went to opened so much of a market to them that a lot of these like companies, they're gonna be having orders for a lot of things, and we're gonna be able to put it together and ship it straight to them without having to deal with a middleman. There's no middleman. You're dealing directly with the dealer, and it's pretty good. I mean, it's going to be great business for the future. I can see it. I see the future. It's great business deals Trump has opened up for the future and for future dealings too. Like, the respect that he gave them really opened the doors for like the next 20 years. Like, they will always remember Trump. Trump will go down in history as a really very important person that ever lived. And we witnessed this. Like, we missed a lot of things in our past, but right now, as we're alive and we're witnessing history, like, every day is history. Like, that's like so awesome. You know, it's a good time to be alive, you know, and enjoy it. And down the line, we'll wreak the havocs. Like, the havocs, we're gonna be great down the line. But for right now, we got work to do, you know, and this country is gonna thrive. It's gonna do so good. And that's the difference between having someone that's actually successful in business, that has failed and recovered and knows the feeling of failure and knows the feeling of being down at negative to being so positive. Like, you can feel the shift and you can feel the energy. And it's important. Like, this time frame that we're living in is very important. It's history. This will always be in history books. This everything. And now that we are in this state of age of, you know, with the internet and everything all digital, this will go down like forever etched. And a lot of the past has been erased because a lot of books, important information from the past has been destroyed and gone, and their history is pretty much gone. There's no, you know, no history. They had a lot of book burnings, and a lot of like history was like burned off, a lot of stories. So right now, this is something that's always going to be etched in history, and everyone around the world has a piece of Trump. You know, everyone wants Trump. Everyone wants Trump. Except the Democrats. The Democrats are the only ones. And I wonder, like, what got into them? Like, what metachlorians that are inside these individuals. I feel like the thing has gotten into the Democrats. Like, I combined Star Wars and the Thing, 2 movies into one party. Like, the metachlorians and these individuals are very disturbing, and whatever thing they have inside of them is really making bad decisions, and they're very negative. I don't understand how does a group of people be so negative. That's not healthy. That's very disturbing. But, you know, I hope people realize, you know, and see for who they are and what they are. You know, they like to brainwash people. Like, AOC's been trying to brainwash people with Bernie Sanders, and it was what? Them against the oligarchy or whatever. The oligarchy has nothing to do with your stupid ass flying first class on private jets. I wonder what's the carbon footprint on that. And unlimited rides all over the place. Like, who pays for that gas? The taxpayers. Who pays for that jet? The taxpayers. All these Democrats know how to do is spend our money. That's all they know how to do is spend money. That's all they do. Spend, and they don't help their own constituents. Like, their own people, they don't help. They don't care. They're too busy flying and profiling. Like, they think they're freaking Ric Flair and shit. Like, they're like, woo! Like, no. You don't get to spend money. Like, no. You pay, if you want to go to all these trips and you want to go on a whatever on a circus like tour, then that should be on your dime. That should come out of your pocket. You have money. You need to pay that money back. The people's money, that tax money, because remember, she wore that tax the rich, whatever. Okay, bitch, you're gonna get taxed right now. Give me that jacket. Okay. Let's get on AOC's back and tax her. You know, and she needs to pay for her own trips. If she wants to fly first class because she's too good for us, too good for the people to fly with the people. Okay, pay for your own shit. Don't take that money from the people and splurge and have first class meals and have the first class ride and no. She went from bartending to gaslighting, you know, and then spending everybody's money. Everyone's money gets spent. AOC, she spends everybody's money. Her district is one of the worst districts. Her district has went up in crime, 70% in crime. Her district is one of the worst districts in New York. And yet she doesn't even go to her district. She doesn't do anything for her district. Nothing. She does nothing for them. She's too busy flying and profiling. Woo! Not for you. For her. She's selfish, narcissistic, selfish individual. One of the worst traits that you could ever have. Yep. I know a Puerto Rican from a Puerto Rican because I'm Puerto Rican and I could tell who she is. I could profile people from a mile away. I'm really good at profiling people. This is the energy comes to me and it speaks to me and I can feel the energy. And that child, she's a lost cause. She's not the one. She's the dud. For real. So let's go back to the China one. That'll be our last one. And then I gotta get off of here because my hips hurt. My hips hurt. It's this rain and not feeling good right now. But let's finish this video out. We only got 2 minutes.
So let's talk about how some of our adversaries are feeling about the president's announcement yesterday. Chinese Foreign Ministry put out this statement this morning saying this undermines global strategic balance and stability. China expresses serious concern over this. We urge the United States to abandon the development and deployment of a global missile defense system as soon as possible. This is a defensive technology. So how do you feel about that and where they're coming from here?
Well, what we've seen historically is that the thing that leads to conflict is a lack of deterrence.
Yeah.
And so our belief, along with the administration, is that having strong deterrence is the best way to deter conflict. And so we're looking forward to partnering with General Gutlein and the administration to roll this out and make the world safe for peace and prosperity. So the president also said yesterday that Canada wants to be involved in this, but they would have to pay their fair share. And some skeptics say that the immense cost and the actual ability to create something to defend an entire continent isn't realistic. So what would you say to those critics? Well, most of the constituent elements of the system have been demonstrated already in smaller scale around the world. And all of them have been proven in combat situations. And so this is really a scaling of capability and an integration capability. And the technology that's available today for networking, for edge and cloud computing, for bringing artificial intelligence to bear on the decision making, all of that new technology is what's going to allow us to stitch these capabilities together and produce this system. It's fascinating. And really quickly, final question to you. Do you really think that we can get this up and running within the President Trump's second term over the next 3 years? because of the start we have with the existing capabilities, we're going to be able to rapidly assemble a credible deterrent in a very short period of time.
Oh, wow.
And in parallel, then work the future technologies that'll deal with threats as they evolve and keep the system relevant for generations.
What a time to be alive. Frank St. John, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I'm Steve Ducey.
Okay.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here.
Wow. Wow. Hold on. That's incredible. That system. That's gonna be crazy. It's a game changer. It's not surprising because we do have the weapons and the capabilities. I see it. And it's going to be futuristic weapons. Don't be surprised. A lot of it's going to be like lasers. It's going to be laser type that is going to destroy anything that's in the sky that's coming towards us. Like the laser will lock in and to exactly where it's at and blow it up before it even gets into our atmosphere. That's how good these lasers are, you know. You gotta understand, like, we have freaking like satellites that could freaking capture pictures from galaxies from far, far away. And you don't think we have the technology from the ground to look at anything that's above us? Like, they have, and the things that, and they integrated these weapons, the futuristic weapons, which are lasers that are like, remember Austin Powers with the sharks with lasers? This is a fucking Austin Powers fucking moment. And this is the fucking Trump was like, I want fucking sharks with lasers. And Trump will get fucking sharks with lasers. Okay. Let's not even be kidding. Like, let's not even make that a thought. Like, don't watch the movie, Trump. Fucking Michael Myers is a piece of shit anyways, so don't watch him. But that was when Austin, that wasn't, you know, when Austin, when this dude Michael Myers, whatever the fuck his name is, was he was pretty cool back in the days. He wasn't as political asshole as he is now. So it's like their true colors, and they're, ever since like I got my mask, everybody's like, truth is coming out and everyone's just exposing themselves. It's like, it's just disgusting. It is, you know, it's sad because like their thinking and their ways, it's just what hypnotized them, what got to them. That's the question. What has gotten to them? It's a trap. We're trapped in the web, and we're having futuristic weapons. Futuristic weapons. And it's going to be done before Trump's term. So within like 3.5 years. Holy smokes. So that means there is a mass production of this. This was already being done behind the scenes. Kind of like Star Wars with the clones. Maybe we'll watch that movie. I guess the Revenge of the Clones or whatever. I which one is it? I'm not so much into Star Trek. I have the movies. Maybe I'll play it today. I'll do like an after show watch or something. Let me see. Where the fuck is that Star Wars? I have it here. My Fandango. Does I have Fandango? I have my library there. Which one is it though? Give me a second. I got a lot of movies. I had a collection of movies, and then I had moved it to Fandango, so they keep my library there. My library of my movies. Yeah, Attack of the Clones. It's a 2002 movie. Well, Trump had kind of like something like that, but mass producing these Golden Dome, like, and the test, they're saying that there's been tests around the world with the system. They're really talking about Israel with their dome, and their dome, the Iron Dome, is U.S. made. I hope people remembers that the U.S. made the Iron Dome, and the U.S. supplies Israel with the missiles that go into the Iron Dome. So that's a continuing business deal that continues to be successful, and the U.S. already knows, and I think Israel knows about these laser weapons, and I know Israel is very interested in these type of weapons. So that's potential deals in the future to increase the capital of the United States. I mean, it just speaks for itself. Safety, security. Saudi Arabia is going to want it. Dubai is going to want it. All these countries, are gonna, that are friendly with the U.S. are going to be interested in these futuristic, state of the art military weapons, and it's big money. I could see a point in time where medical insurance will be free for everyone that are Americans, and a time where education is actually free because of the amount of money of deals that have been made can contribute to paying for these programs and medical needs. I could see a time like that. It's within a timeline, we're in a good straight timeline, but that's like really far into the future, and it's not too far into the future. To be honest with you, I just could see it maybe within 2 decades. That could happen. But China is scared. China's scared because then they can't really threaten the U.S. There's no way to threaten. If we have the answer, you can't. There's no questions. I already have the answer. So there's no possible way that you can threaten us. You can defend yourself. That's great. We have no business trying to hurt you. Like, we're trying to make deals with you. We're not trying to hurt you. But if you want to take it that way, it's because of your aggression and, you're also hypnotized. Well, that's on y'all. But until the day that you wake up and you realize that, damn, it's better to negotiate than it is to fucking fight all the time because of that negative energy is not good for you. And the Chinese should know this better than anybody. They should know this. Negative energy is not good. Hello? It's like they're doing it to themselves, and they're screwing themselves because of negative energy. But I've been on for an hour and 44 minutes, so I'll probably be on for like for a few more minutes. I'm just achy. This rain, and it's kind of chilly, and I got my hoodie on, so I'm warm. I have my pants, my sweatpants, and my hoodie, so I'm warm inside. It's just my body is not feeling it. My neck is not feeling it. I'm sitting down here with this chair. It's like a fucking electric chair for me. I lean to the side because I'm in pain. So when I'm in pain, I tend to lean to the side. I'm not sitting like straight up as I'm supposed to because my back and my neck hurts. So it just happens that way. And medication, you can take medication as much as you want, but it's not the fucking answer. It's not when you have like damage, you know. When you're damaged, you're fucking damaged. When you're good, stay good. Don't fucking get hurt. Don't just protect yourself at all costs. You know what I mean? Just don't do anything stupid to get yourself in a bad predicament. There was no, for my case, it's just, it was just the wrong time, wrong place, wrong time. Fucking sucks. But, this is the path that I'm on. This is the road, the timeline that I'm in. Every decision that I made in my life has gotten me to this position right now. That's how you got to think about. This is the position that you have come to. And are you going to improve yourself or are you going to stay stagnant? That's upon you. I can't wait for summer to come. I'm looking forward to summer. The summer days and sunny days and going to the farmer's market. I like those days. I miss those days. So they're coming back around. The duck race is coming back another season. Maybe I'll record it and I'll put it on. I'll do a short. I'll put it on. No, not a short. I could do a short too, but I'll just I'll record and upload it so you can see the 2025 duck race. It's the rubber duck race, the little duckies. So get the little duckies. The winner wins a good prize. I mean, I always play because it goes to a good cause. So I always play $20 every year. I just give them 20. I know I'm not gonna win. I have to put my name because there's like kind of like the numbers matches with the duck. So if your duck comes in and they match your number with the number and you win, like depending on the price. If you come in first place, you get a really, really good price. And then, depending on which place you get like $25 gift certificates and, to all different types of restaurants and different types of stuff. So it's pretty good. And the money does go to a good cause. So, and it's a nice event. They do like barbecue. They do a cookout. They sell like burgers and hot dogs and, you have your drinks. I always bring my own drink. I'm like, not to be cheap, but shit, I like to drink my water. I don't drink soda like that. It gives me a lot of gas. But I only could drink like ginger ale. Ginger ale is good for me. I don't know for you, but ginger ale is good for me. When you have like you're a little gassy and you feel like a little bloated, like if you want to take that gas out, drink some ginger ale and you'll burp it out. You get it out. And it kind of does make your stomach feels good after, a drink of ginger ale. And that's my little trick that I do to help me. Oh, man, it's freaking rain. We didn't get that much snow this year. We got lucky this year. It was very minimum this year. Very happy. I'm not complaining. I'm just worried because there's going to be a year, and it could be this year, where we get the fucking crazy, crazy snow dumped on us. Yeah, because it's been a while since we got like a really heavy snowfall in this area. It's been a good while. I mean, probably more than like 12, 13 years since we got like back to back to back to back storms like that. That hasn't happened since 2012. So it's been like almost like 13 years. Yeah, that year was nuts. I remember because it was my like beginning of me being here. And it was like my car got buried. Like it got buried during one storm. And it was back to back to back to back storms. It was literally like 4 storms back to back to back to back. Like it was like a nor'easter and then a clipper and a clipper and a clipper. And it was heavy snows too. And it was windy. It was very windy and a lot of snow. Holy shit, it was a lot of snow. I hope someone documents it. Maybe I could check it on YouTube. I could check on YouTube the snowstorm of probably 2012. It has to have been 2012 because I was in the hospital when before it was before I went to the hospital, but it was in 2012. So, and it was like the cars were buried, like it was so high, the snow, and I was like, wow, man. I think Boston broke records during those snowstorms, if I'm not mistaken. But it really buried Boston too, I believe. I'm not too far from Boston. I'm about an hour and a half. About an hour and a half. Give or take, depending on the traffic, on the flow of the traffic too. Like, it could be like an hour and 45, maybe an hour, 50 minutes if there's traffic, a little traffic or so forth. But it's less than 2 hours. It's definitely less than 2 hours. It's like an hour and a half. Like for me, I get it like an hour and a half, an hour and 35 minutes. New York, it's about an hour and a half to get to New York. I'm like in the middle. I'm in like between New York City and Boston. Ain't that pretty cool? I'm in the middle. The monkey in the middle. The monkey in the middle. But I'm looking forward to going to Boston this year. I want not really Boston. I want to go to Salem. I like going to Salem. I might go to Salem for Halloween this year. If things come out good, everything's good, I think I would like to go to Salem for Halloween. That would be so cool. That would be cool. I didn't go last year. I wasn't feeling right. Like I was not feeling good. I wasn't on YouTube neither, so I didn't do anything. I just really shut everything down last year. But I think this year I want to go to Salem. I always have a good time, so I make it how I want it. And I like to go early because I don't like it when it's like crowded. So I like going the daytime. The nighttime is for younger people and for able people and stuff like that. And I don't want to be pushed around or like have to be around too many people. I don't like that. I like okay, I like to experience it, but I don't want to experience it with too many people. So in order to do that, you have to go early. So you have to be there like you could be there like at 10 in the morning, 10, 11 in the morning. And then you could be there and then you could be out of there by, I would say like 4 o'clock. You could be gone. So, but by that time frame, you already have been there for like 5-6 hours. You're already done. Like for me, I'm done with like in 4 hours. I like to go because I like to go and see the stores. Like I always go and I always like get something. I like to get a little something for me. That's where like my statues came from. Is from Salem. You know, Ogun and Achosi. You got Achosi and Ogun. So they're I don't think you can see them, but they're right here. They're my little statues. And they're from Salem. They kind of blend in with everything, but they're standing there. Let me see if I can make myself big. I can see them. Yeah, you can see them. Like Lechong is right here, and I have my ball right here, so it's hard probably to see him. He's with the bow and arrow. There's a goon right here. Ochosi's over here, and there's a goon. Ogun is like a really good defender. Like, I love his statue. It's really nice. I like his shield. I like everything about him. And Ogun too, and Chosi too. But I want to get another one, probably for the middle or something, because the pyramid is there. I don't think you can see it, but it's there. I have my pyramid. And I could get another one, another statue, and put them somewhere. Maybe you could go in the back too, because I got like a back area there. I could put a statue there. I mean, it looks very relaxing at my desk. The candles are going out because it's already time to end the show. So I'm gonna get off of here. Let me see. It's at 56. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here soon because I am tired. It was a good show. I like kind of like the morning pretty good because I could get through the news and watch it, and you could watch it with me. That's fun. It's always fun to take in some of the news of the day and from yesterday and from the Biden crap. Freaking Biden, man. That administration, that coup that they did, they really did a lot of damage to the United States, more than you think, especially with the immigrants, because that really took a very big hit on the Social Security. That took a really big hit on Social Security, took a big hit on like medical, like, because you remember these people can't pay for the bills. Who do you think they're gonna charge it on? To us, the people. So like they came in illegal. They didn't come here like on a visa. They didn't come here like with permission. They didn't come here with a plan. They didn't come here to like visit and leave and go back home. No, they came here to stay. That's a big difference. I don't care what you say. Like no. That's like if I go like to another country and then I say, okay, well, I'm gonna stay here. I'm not leaving. I came here and I'm gonna stay here now. Like other countries will get your ass out of there. They'll be like, no, you're gonna be deported. Like we don't play that. But the United States was so, for the past 4 years with the Biden administration, was so lenient and didn't do anything at the border that everybody was just coming through, anybody and everyone. That's why I'm telling you, the threat is already here. The people that are going to cause the most harm are already in our country. They're already here. And they are going to hurt people, especially this year. Mark my words. There will be a mass casualty going on this year. There's going to be a big group of people that will be harmed by radical people. Because the radical, they're here. They're here. Surprised how they got through like so easy. But we're going to pay for it. I'm telling you right now, because of what Biden did, we are going to suffer because of it. You know, they're waiting for the right moment to do it. They need to do something, especially like New York. They got to clean New York. They got to clean it, man. Because if they don't, I mean, Trump got to go in there and kick those people out. You know, I wish Trump had the power, and he probably does, like, to get these, like, governor and all these AG stupid people, kick them out, you know, and say, no, you're not part of the country of what we are trying to run. You're the complete opposite, and you're a fraud, and you're corrupt, and you need to leave. Letitia James, Fannie Willis, all these corrupted individuals, Adam Schifter, like, you can name them all. Nancy Pelosi, like, the list goes on and on and on and on. A lot of corruption, a lot of deception. People need to realize and see for who they really are, and they're thieves and traitors. That's all. And with that said, I think I can end the show now. I appreciate everyone who came through. Thank you very much. And for those who watched and rewatched, thank you very much. I truly, truly appreciate you. And I left a little message for you guys. If you watch somewhere in the middle, if you watch the whole show, you'll hear the message, and I think you'll like it. But yeah. Have a good day, and I'll be back on later on tonight, and I'll do an evening show and give it a little rundown to see what happened during the day, and maybe talk a little bit more. Yeah, and have a smoke, because that's the only time I smoke is when I'm on the show. I'm not gonna smoke. I don't smoke when I'm off the show, so. Because I feel like when I talk and smoke, I get the medicine more deep inside of me, and I feel much better when I do that. So, it's in a ways, it's kind of like my therapy for my smoke session, and I feel good. As far as like, but body wise, no, I feel achy, but I feel good inside, like. Spiritually, I feel good. Physically, I feel like shit. But I'm not going to let that ruin my parade. It's not going to rain on my parade. Nope. I'm going to take a nap. That's what I'm definitely going to do. I'll probably take a quick little nap for like an hour or two. And, yeah. Then I'll come back later on tonight and do a little run through and watch a little bit more of, you know, some news and stuff, some stuff, and we'll see what happens. Till then, have a good day, and good morning, and good night, wherever you're at. And I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Peace, everyone.
So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world but keep the sky on your mind.